Yo, what's good, guys? It is your boy, the Ecom Wizard, and it feels like it's been a while since I said that. Actually, it's currently 11:30 at night in Dubai on a Saturday, and I'm in my new apartment. So if it sounds a little bit echoey, I do apologize. There's like no soundproofing or whatever, and the audio is just crazy. But I feel like I'm gonna just continue with these raw videos because I don't know, they're easy to make, and I think you guys can learn a lot, as well as me being able to document everything. So this video is basically going to be about everything gurus don't tell you when it comes to dropshipping, and this is coming from someone that's been in the game for probably over 6-7 years now, like literally pre-COVID. So yeah, I'm a dropshipping unk, or you could say. We've done over 8 figures. I say we, me. I've done over 8 figures in dropshipping since starting. And there's a lot of lessons I learned that I wish people knew about when they were first getting started, right? And I've got some notes, hence why, or just points, hence why I have this. So first things first is dropshipping is not easy. And there's this weird online consensus that dropshipping is easy, or you can just dive in and make a ton of money quickly. And for the majority of people that do dropshipping, you, I, everyone else, if you're talking about everyone that does dropshipping and you took a percentage of them, it's going to be a very small minority that can jump in dropshipping and genuinely make money quick. I don't know whether it's why people, or maybe it's because people want to start courses, mentoring, etc., which I've sold mentoring myself before, and I closed my program down literally about 1.5 years ago now, just to fully focus on ecom, because it was a distraction to what I was trying to build with ecom. So you could say I'm a hypocrite or whatever, but I've seen both sides of the coin. And dropshipping overall is probably one of the harder things you'll do, in terms of it takes a lot of time to get up and running. There's no I don't know if people think you can jump on 3 hours or 2 hours, get things set up and run it. And with AI now, things are a little bit easier. But for the most part, you're gonna have to dedicate a lot of time to this, whether it's outside of your job, whether it's quitting your job and then going full-time on ecom once things working, whatever it is. I say all this to basically say that dropshipping is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Now, can you scale to very high numbers? Probably quicker than you can with other business models, like traditional brick and mortar businesses or whatever, where you need a ton of employees, a ton of capital. Yes, but that doesn't mean it's easy. There's a lot of issues that come with payment processing. There's also the initial hurdle of going from 0 to maybe 1K a day, right? And being able to sustain an income that means you can at least quit your work or whatever. And that hump, getting over that initial hump, and I've recently started a new brand 3 months back in the subscription space. And it was probably one of the hardest things I've done in terms of ecom in general. Going from that 0 to 1, not 1K a day, but 0 to whatever you want to get to is very hard. Finding the winning angle, whatever, is the hardest. So don't think it's easy. Take this from someone that's been in the game for a while. You're not going to be in for an easy ride, and there's going to be times when you want to quit and stuff as well. But going from 10K a day to 50K a day or 30K a day or whatever, I'd choose that any single time over going from 0 to 5K a day or 3K a day. The journey's a lot simpler once you've got the ball rolling and you gain momentum. Now, the next point, which is number 2, and this is that skill beats product every single time. You shouldn't, and there's this thing on YouTube, and maybe this is why I removed all of my old videos on my second channel. And it was because I felt like a lot of the information that I gave, I say on my second channel, my main channel, I think, but a lot of the information I gave years ago is no longer relevant to today. So for example, there'd be winning product videos, top 10 products to go and sell now. Bro, this shit, for me, in my opinion, I think they're useless, right? You need to focus on getting better at dropshipping. Become a good marketer. If you're a good marketer, you can sell near enough any product if you had, of course, unlimited budget. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still products to this day that I'll test, and yes, I think in my head, with enough time, I can make this work, and enough money is the most important thing. But for me, dropshipping is kind of finding the perfect efficiency between not burning too much money and also still being able to, get good metrics on the front end and not become too much in the red, right? You need to know when to cut a product. So essentially what I'm saying is, if you become a good marketer, you're going to be able to sell 90% of the products that you see, whether that's through good storytelling, good ads, good offers. It's a bit of a mix of everything. But if you're just out here trying to find one winning product, what's going to happen is you'll probably run it up. You might have one good month or 2 good months and it comes crashing down, and you're not going to actually have the skills to be able to run it up again, right? Whereas if you actually become a good copywriter, you actually become good at making good ads, right? Long form VSLs or whatever it is which will make your product sell better. Those are the things that you need to work on. So whether that's reading books, like Eugene Schwartz's one, whether that's practicing copywriting, whatever. And I'm not saying I'm some great copywriter. Honestly, I'm genuinely not. I've just kind of got experience from time in the game. So the main thing you need to basically become is work on the skill issue. There's a skill gap from where you are right now to where you need to get to. And that should be the most important factor or thing you're focusing on, I suppose, because once you get to being a good marketer, again, you're going to be able to run up pretty much most products that are problem solving and have like an emotional pain point. Now, third point, and this is, I wouldn't say this, you could say it maybe applies to me at one point, maybe when I was a bit younger, for the past however many years, no, but reinvest back into your business and stop flexing, right? The majority of people I know that do serious numbers in e-commerce, they're either very low key, you could walk past them on the street, you wouldn't even know these guys are doing numbers, right? And again, the opposite, typically you could say, the guys flexing, they aren't doing nowhere near those types of numbers of the guys that are low key. And I'm not saying don't buy things you want. I'm wearing one of my dream watches here. This is a day. I got this as a kind of a gift to myself, I suppose, many years back, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, 4 years ago. But the money that you are using to spend on these things could go back into your business. And I've made this mistake before, and maybe I'll cover it in another video. You should be reinvesting all of your profits back into your business, especially nowadays, whether that's with creators, whether that's with using specific softwares that you can make or create better ads with, employee payrolls. You should be hiring out a bigger team. The kind of small dropshipper mindset I was in for years is kind of just solo working, or me and a customer service agent. You can kind of, brute force your way, but it's going to get to a point where you're capping yourself from just working. You're working all day, right? And there's no way one person working all day is going to be even a team of 10 or a team of 20 working 8 hours a day. There's just no way you're going to, there's not enough output from one person, even if you spent every single hour and didn't go to sleep. So the main point is you basically need to reinvest back into your business. And I've been guilty of this myself before, where, I've spent on things where I probably shouldn't have. I've took holidays I probably shouldn't have. I've spent on stupid things I shouldn't have. Bottles in a club, whatever, but I suppose it's kind of, you have to do it to learn that it doesn't mean shit. But yeah, I thought I'd include it anyway, right? And that's obviously an important point. Now, fourth thing is revenue is vanity and profit is sanity, right? A lot of the people nowadays post, and even again, I've maybe been guilty of this myself before, revenue screenshots. And I know everyone does the revenue screenshots. With kind of subscription businesses, it's a bit different, because you could essentially break even for the day on new customer ROAS or new customer acquisition for the day. And in a month's time, you're going to print money. If you've gained 5 to 10K in kind of subscription revenue that day at break even, come month 2, you're going to be in the profit heavily, right? But if you're just running a one-time purchase business and you're running on kind of fine margins, again, revenue doesn't really mean much. Profits is what's going to be able to scale your business. And actually you're going to be able to spend the money, whether it's getting a nicer apartment and kind of leveling up, whether it's building your team, whatever it is, right? Personally, for me, I just invest heavily into my kind of workplace, I suppose. I work from home and I'm at home 90% of the time, whether that's getting a nice office space for you, building a nice setup, I don't know, but things that are just going to make you that little bit kind of more productive in your life, I suppose. But maybe I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but essentially I've made mistakes before on where I've scaled based on a certain number I wanted to hit. So like first 10K day was like, you know, I need to hit 10K. I just want to hit 10K in a day. And it was kind of at the expense of profit. And, you know, like the numbers were not really adding up to scale. Same with first 30K day and 40, 50K, etc. My point. So even when you reach your first 100K month, don't just scale to 100K per month because you think, you know, I want to reach that number, because you're going to then kind of, it's going to be at the detriment of the smart decision for your business in the long run. So yeah, final thing is you actually need money to make money. So I don't know, many gurus out there will be like, jump inside my program, you know, you can start with $500. And I don't know what paid ads you're running, but in 2026, this shit does not work. Now, I started at a point when dropshipping was online. It wasn't a huge thing. There was probably very few gurus in the space, to be honest, actually teaching or speaking about dropshipping, right? This is pre-COVID time. And back then, things were a lot easier. You could throw up an image ad, right? A static of some cat earrings and directly take the photo from AliExpress. Print, you know, 4 ROAS on the day, spending 1K and you're at a couple of K per day with, you know, profit margins of like 40%, 45%. It's, the game has changed. Dropshipping has become popular online. Ads have become more expensive. More people have learned about it. Now, if you're doing organic or something like this, right? AI videos, organic, I don't know. I've never done organic in my life. So I can't really vouch for that. But I would say realistically, to start dropshipping, paid ads, you would want at least probably 3 to 4K on, like, that's just ads money. If you've got 1K, I mean, I would say it's kind of tight. You could test at $100 per day, but the majority of my brand, for example, my brand I was running last year, we done over $5 million in like 9 months, 8 or 9 months or so. For the first 2 weeks, this product was below break even, right? So you have to think, if you're at below to break even. So you have to kind of think, if you're at $100 per day, after 7 days, and the first 7 days are always the most brutal, right? It kind of gets better after that, typically, if you're adding in more ads, offers. But the first, 1 to 2 days are the worst, and then, the remaining 5 days of the week, you can still be unprofitable. So if you've got $1K to spend, after like week 1, you could be down to $400. You've lost $600, $700 in a week, So, if you've got not too much of a budget, just save up, get a job. I don't really know. Hustle your way, buy things, sell things online, reselling I've done before, or get a normal job. There's nothing wrong with a normal 9 to 5 to then fund your hustle. It means you're gonna have to work outside of it, yeah, of course. And that's a struggle. I've also done that as well. But make sure you have a decent budget to start, and don't get kind of duped or fooled into being able to start with such a low budget of like a couple of $100 and stuff. I mean, you can, but it's just going to be a rough time for you. And I personally wouldn't. Then you need to fulfill orders. And if you get any holds, your whole business kind of goes overnight. So yeah, this is just some honest kind of thoughts. I think I'm going to document a lot of my journey on this channel and also my main channel, the Ecom Wizard. For any of you guys who don't know, I was posting for many years and just kind of disappeared for the past year. But I'm deciding that from now on I am going to post, and I think it will help, again, me just be able to document the journey and look back on, because we're in kind of the subscription space now and MRR space, and also whatever I learn you guys can benefit from anyway. If I lose money, whatever, if I make money, whatever as well. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.